What's up, you guys? I'm going to review this Cat Barbell Power Rack exercise stand. I know it's kind of a wordy, long description, but this is the name of the product on Amazon. It's something that I've been eyeing personally for a few years now, actually, and now kind of fully jumping into working at home. It's something I thought was worth the investment. So I'll talk about some of the pros and cons. You'll see me kind of put it together. I'll also show a workout that I did the day I actually got this machine. Links to the product are down below. I'll also timestamp the video as well, so if you want to jump right to a certain section, you guys can do that as well. But basically, I kind of like things that are very simple, kind of low footprint. So I didn't really justify buying a whole big exercise, like full-on gym in the house. If you guys that watch my channel know I love that Weider Ultimate Body Works or a Total Gym. I think that's one of the most underestimated fitness products that are out there. It complements this, and I was really debating about even getting this in the first place. So I'll talk about that. But before I kind of keep going, if you guys like this content, if you guys like this stuff on the channel, if you guys want to see more of this stuff, please like the video and subscribe. It's always helpful. But let's jump right into the actual product itself on Amazon. So this is, you can see this link down below as well. What I just want to highlight really quickly, just while you got me here on this little caption here, is that the price does fluctuate. So I've seen this go back when it was first initially kind of on Amazon a few years ago. It was below $100. I think it was like $99. And even at the time, I was eyeing getting it. I already had like squat stands and I had a pull-up bar, so I'm like, well, do I really need this thing right now? I'll get into, again, some of the pros for that later on. But the point is, kind of watch the pricing. I got mine, and this was last week, for $119, and mine was this, I can't find it now. It was the red one. So basically, I think it's just like, so right now the red one's $154. I only got the red color because it was the cheapest one at the time. So if you want to eye it, you can. I think even $132, I think, is not a bad price. It's up to you, but if you really like a certain color, get the color. I'm not sure how these things go in or not in stock, but that's the price. You guys can check out the reviews. It's got solid reviews as far as what people have been doing with it. There's one particular picture that I think was really good. This girl right in the first page. I mean, she's just really testing the limits with what it's capable of. So good product. I think right off the bat, it's good. Something I will touch on also is that, since I got this picture here, I don't have weighted plates. So what I use are adjustable dumbbells. So those of you guys that watch my channel, I'll link the dumbbells down below as well. Is it really, if you don't have a pair of external weights, which are really expensive and hard to get hold of, adjustable dumbbells are really good. And I think there's one down below that, again, goes in and out of stock, also by Cap, that I think is a really good deal for the actual price. That's how you could load it down. That's one way of doing it. You can load it down a number of ways, but the fact is, you probably want to load it down if you're going to be kind of pulling on it like forward or backwards. So what I'm going to do now is actually kind of talk over the video of me just putting this thing together. All right, so you can see that it comes in this little box. It's pretty lightweight, actually. I was surprised when I actually picked it up just how lightweight it really was. And it was pretty easy, and I mean, pretty simple instructions. The instructions were pretty much kind of blown out. There's not like any step-by-step. You just see a big picture, and you just got to figure out where the screws go. Pretty self-explanatory, although I'm not going to lie. I forget if I edited it out or not. I did mess up one of the bars, like the position where the squat rack was. I couldn't think there's any way to mess it up, but of course I did. So I had to like basically take off the pull-up bar and reset it. But point is, this thing should take you about like an hour to put together. You can see one of my kids was just getting really into just me helping out, and he did help me out at one point. You'll see him kind of hold the bar for me for a second. Otherwise, you might need two people, but you could definitely do this with one person. You just gotta get creative with a certain portion of this video as I'm putting it together, but very easy to put together. There was a piece that I think was broken. There's some minor chipping that I noticed, so it wasn't like stellar as far as the way it came out of the box, but otherwise I thought it was fine. One thing to note, as soon as I pulled it out of the box, I'm like, this was kind of bigger than I thought, even though I measured it, the height and the width for my downstairs basement here. Even though it still takes up a nice low footprint, it actually looks bigger in person than when I looked at in the pictures for whatever reason. So you can see my son here, he's like kind of helping me. That was actually very helpful, him kind of holding this bar in place. But that's probably the only part when you're putting this together, unless I did something wrong, which very likely could have been. That was probably the only part where you actually needed someone to actually helped out holding something. Even the pull-up bar, you'll see me I did that myself, and that would have been good to have a second person, but even that was pretty much doable. But otherwise, I thought the thing was very easy to put together. If you have a socket wrench, definitely get a socket wrench. That'll make life a lot easier as well if you get a socket wrench with the Allen wrench that comes with it. But like I said, it's a little big. Once my wife saw it, I'm not gonna lie, she was like, this is a little big. This was kind of like a playroom. It still will be a playroom, but traditionally what I like to do is move all my fitness equipment in and out of this back little storage area, which makes it very useful. So I don't know if we'll keep this down here. I might put it in, there's another area in my finished basement back here, which I could do. I don't really want a whole glorified workout room. So even though this looks like a lot of stuff, all this stuff, even the rower can be broken down and put in that back room, minus obviously this pull-up bar. So that was kind of the one con that when I initially got it. It was a little bigger for my taste. Why I actually kind of wanted this though was I fully just got rid of my gym membership, so this was kind of a big deal to get rid of that. So I wanted that option. You'll see here just about, by the way, that it was not as rickety as you see in this video. There was a couple screws I didn't put in yet, so don't judge that give too much. But my head does clear it. I thought it was fine. But some of the biggest things you'll see in the workout, you see me kind of do a little test here. I don't know if I have in the video. I actually do end up breaking my clock in this video, which that's later on. You see me break the clock. I actually kicked it with my foot, but not bad. It was very solid. If you weigh this thing down, there's no question this thing will be very, very sturdy. I personally, I think just to kind of, because it is, I feel like it might bend. I'm not seeing any reviews that say so otherwise. Like if you're doing TRX stuff and you're pulling weight only one direction out from it, I might even on some days kind of pull this rack out and then so I can get a little more weight going the other direction, if that makes sense. Just because I feel like, and there's that piece in this video that was missing on mine. So there's one of those that's closed. The other piece I think maybe just fell through. Otherwise, you're seeing just up close and personal view of just the construction. There was that part there that looked like it wasn't totally even or set in. I'm not sure why that was. I mean, I tried adjusting the screws and loosening them, but it just kind of set like that. Honestly, I think it's fine. I didn't notice anything. When you're actually messing around with it, it is very straight. And it could have been I just somehow messed some things up, but I tried readjusting it and loosening it, and it didn't make much of a difference. Here you'll actually see some of the chipping. So there was some minor chipping right out of the box, so that's probably a sign that with a little bit of use, it will chip. I do have a barbell actually in my garage. I'm not planning on doing any barbell stuff right away. And there's actually a way I might be getting around with using my adjustable power blocks for some exercises. The actual pull-up bar was very good quality. I liked it was a perfect thickness. It also felt really good. It wasn't like too slippery and like shiny where some pull-up bars kind of have. That has a natural grip to it. But otherwise, you can see again, maybe in relation, you don't get a good feel for this, but for my basement, it didn't take up much space. This is where I had a lot of fun, guys, just breaking out the TRX bands. If you have a squat rack like this and you don't have TRX bands, I'll link those down below. I had a lot of fun with just doing a workout like this, and I forgot how much I loved TRX bands. Back in the day, I was one of the first people to kind of bring these things to the gym, and people used to look at me like, "What are you doing?" So I used to be obsessed with TRX bands, and this is where I think they honestly shine, just having a squat rack like this. In fact, some of my best workouts were just going to a park with an empty soccer post or soccer goal net, whatever, and then just doing some TRX workouts, intervals outside. So definitely I felt like held up fine. There was really nothing that I felt uneasy with. I tried actually even testing it with some bands. I weighted it down, but not that much. Just doing some band presses, and that worked out pretty good too as well. If I didn't mention it, tomorrow I'll actually post a video of another product I reviewed that I actually bought with this video that complements it really, really good. I'll probably, by a couple days later, I will link that down below as well if you're seeing this later. But that product was awesome as well. But just had a really good workout. This workout alone really solidified me making the purchase. If there's any con for me right off the bat, it was the fact that it almost just felt like it was a little bit bigger for my taste, not wanting to make a full-on gym. But again, you can see behind me, it's still a relatively kind of low footprint. But for the person who just wants something to do like pull-ups, you want to mess around with TRX type stuff, leg lifts, obviously benching and squatting and things like that. So for the cost, I definitely think this thing is worth it when you consider the fact that really I wanted some sort of pull-up stand that added a little more versatility to my house, but also was a low footprint. This really does check all the boxes, because if I did get some sort of pull-up bar, first off, they were on the same price, and it was just going to limit you in the things you could do. Granted, there are some that you could do like dips and things on, but even then, like from what I kind of save a little bit in the footprint of the house, I kind of don't get that back, and all the options I can do with something like this. So there's so many options that you can still do. To me, it is the perfect price point. I mean, you can't really get this any cheaper, as far as I'm concerned, for a pretty solidly built squat rack. Now, are you going to need some extras to go along with it? Like if you don't have external weights, like yeah, that's going to rack up the price. Would this be worth it just even for pull-ups and even just for TRX type stuff? I'd still even say yeah. I mean, if you have the space for it, if you're going to put it somewhere that you feel like is convenient and you're going to use it, I do think it's worth the cost. It's definitely something that I'll be incorporating it. I'm not gonna lie. Again, my first impressions, like I said, when I pulled it out of the box, I'm like, this is a little too big than I really wanted in my house. But once I did the workout and I realized just okay, how many more doors it's just gonna open up for me, and I knew I'm gonna be working out at home for a long period of time, I knew this was perfect. Even though I know I'm gonna work out at home, though, I still don't want a lot of stuff in my house. So if that's you, my point is, if you're someone who you know you're gonna work out at home, you don't want a lot of stuff, you don't want to break the bank on like just a really really expensive squat rack, and then the plates and the weights and the barbells, you're not going to jump all in, because in my opinion, once you get a whole big squat rack, you might as well just go all in at that point if you're going to invest that money in a quality squat rack. But then again, that's just me. If you're someone like me that likes simplicity, you don't want to spend a lot of money, you don't want to turn a whole room of your house into a glorified gym, even though you could kind of argue that you can't get a good perspective of this through the video. But like I said, everything can be broken down very kind of, I can tuck it away still. Still some cumbersome stuff with like bumps and edges, like you're gonna have kids or something running around. And obviously, this is still now, if you have people in your basement, it looks like a gym kind of with the squat rack. But I would say it's still worth it. If you have any questions about this product, definitely let me know. I'll show some future workouts with this thing if you guys want to see. I think it will hold up the test of time just based on reviews. That was something I was kind of concerned with. So I think if it didn't, you'd already see that reflected in the views. So that's something else to kind of consider. But any other questions, comments, anything else you guys want to know with the machine, definitely let me know, or the product, whatever, let me know. And again, if you like this video, please give it a like and or subscribe if you like this kind of content. And thank you for watching.